Now the claims are up for the second event, field of 10 here. There are no scratchings in the maiden over 1200 metres, and the early favourite is Yari Kozine. Note that fishing is plus a half on fishing. Well, Yari Kozine is the favourite. I'll be surprised, Frosty, if he holds the favouritism. He's going well, the horse, but I think if you look at the handicaps here, he's got 57. The rest of them have got 53 and a half less. I think it's going to be difficult for him. Look, he's got a top three show, but I doubt whether he'll go off as favourite.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. He's actually equal favourite at the moment as you speak, Max. He's equal favourite with the 1 and the 10. But looking at him in the yard, he looks well, Max, and he's not a bad type of horse. And his effort to finish second last time behind El Sheikh is good enough for him to see him run very well here. We know El Sheikh's pretty smart, and he was able to come out and win at his next start after he won his restricted maiden El Sheikh. So the form around him's quite good. Hasn't shown a lot of speed in his races. He's more of a get back and find the line strongly. Yeah, it's a bit of a concern that he has to carry the 57 kilos, but he does look very well in the yard, and I think he's a good chance here for the top three.
One of the long shots is number 2, One and Only. He's had the 3 starts and he's finished 11th on all 3 occasions.
Yeah, and he's only small, Max, and not a lot of him. 469 kilos. He's no tip from the yard either. He gets warm before his races. I don't like him at this stage, and I haven't seen much improvement in him on the training track in recent times to suggest that he can run well here. Happy enough to leave him out.
Another one in a similar boat to where One and Only is fishing, pardon the pun, but this horse's form is very similar.
Yeah, just hasn't done much, has he, fishing, and he just clearly needs to improve. And just looking at him in the yard, I just think he might need a bit more time to develop. He still looks short and dumpy, and I still can't have him at this stage. Number 3, fishing. We'll move on and have a look at the next runner.
All right, well, by appointment's big odds for a horse that ran well at his debut in 4th behind Star Sprinter. But then he turned in an ordinary one. That was in the El Sheikh race where Yari Kozine was second. This guy was 11th. Were there any excuses for him that day? I noticed he was a drifter in the betting. He was 65 out to 155.
Yeah, he's an interesting runner, Max, because he's finished 4th on the poly track, and he looked like his run was good on that occasion. He was sort of making up ground on the inside, so he's definitely not the worst of him, but looking at his dividend, there's really no tip around for him at the moment, and he looks well enough in the yard, trained by John Maher. I'd be keeping an eye on him. If you're having an exotic bet here, and you can afford to put him in, you might want to put him in for 3rd or 4th here by appointment. He's not the worst of them.
All right, well, Fairy King Dane, he's had at least 6 trials, and he's a 3-year-old by Falbrav. He managed to win a trial back on the 4th of December. He beat Royals in a time of 1:4.5. So it's difficult to suggest that he can win the race, but perhaps the fact that he's had so many trials, he might be able to sneak a place at some odds.
I think he can get into the placings here, Max. We've got a couple of newcomers. I think he's one of the better newcomers making his debut here. Got a good barrier gate, number 4. And as you point out, had plenty of education, and he does look nice and forward in the yard. KK, interesting jockey riding in here, Max. KK has been riding world famous, been in all of his starts so far, his 2 starts, and he's elected to ride Fairy King Dane here. I think he's not bad odds here, 51 and 14, win place. He might be able to get into the top 3 here without surprising.
Frost, I didn't put this in the top 3, but I regret it now. I guess I can change, but just doing the replays again this morning, this hasn't had a lot of luck. Shen Wong in his only 2 starts so far, so against this field here, and I like the fact that there's only 10 runners here, because this horse can drift back a little bit in his races. He's in the betting at 33 and 14. I'll be very surprised if he doesn't run some sort of a race.
Yeah, he deserves to be in the betting, Max. Even at his first start here in Singapore, he ran well at big odds behind Thunder Faz. He was sort of really running on strongly, so the 1200 metres should suit him. He's had his 2 runs over the 1100 metres, so this is a suitable race. This is a winnable race for him, number 6, and he's $33 at this stage. He looks well in the yard, and he's got that race experience on his side, so he's one to consider here.
Okay, now the next one is Spectre Dilemma, number 7. At the moment he's 170.
Yeah, just hasn't done enough at this stage. I think it was entered for a race about a month or so ago and was scratched at the barriers and has since been back and trialled okay, but I can't recommend number 7 on debut.
All right, we'll leave him out of our selections here and just see how he performs at his first start. Now, Super Gold is next, number 8. What can you tell me about his performances at the trials?
I thought he's been going okay, and originally I thought the newcomers that he might find a little bit tough here, but I thought he's gone okay enough, and he does look well in the yard. He's got a nice healthy look about him, Max, and Louis is just getting leg to board him now. I think he just need to improve a little bit, like from barrier 10. It's not going to be easy for him, and Louis has just been dumped on him. They've been dislodged. And it's a bit new to him. They'll probably just take him back in the tie-up stores and they'll get on him in there. It's a bit more sensible idea. Just a little bit new to everything, but he's gone okay, and I think he can run well here. And he's in the market too at 34 and 8.
All right, Super Gold does have some support here. As we move on to the favourite World Famous Man, we brought you that past run in the race won by Soldier of Honour, and KKU was hard at work on him all the way. He hasn't raced for 28 days, so just hope that he's sharp enough, and I like the fact that he's put on a bit of body weight, so he might be bouncing a little bit here, and I think he needs to be a bit sharp if he's going to win this.
He does, Max. He's looking nice and alert in the yard. He does look the part in the parade ring, and I like the fact with Aslam riding in, Max, he can ride nice and light, so he's one to consider here. I think he's going to be hard to beat. He's got the right type of form to win this race. He's had the 2 starts, and there've been nice closing efforts at his first 2 starts. So I think at his third run in, Max, I think he's the way to go.
It's a nice looking horse, world famous man. This fellow's by a line, and that sire stamps his progeny. They're usually all big, strong horses. And he's another one. Here's Trigger Legacy, number 9. This fellow's by Beautiful Crown. He's had 2 official race trials.
I thought he's gone okay at the trials, but I didn't think he'd done enough to be able to win it his first time to the races. And he's a nice, thick set type of horse, and just looking at him, I just think he might need a race or 2 before we see the best of him. I just don't think he's been quite tuned up for a first up win, number 9, Trigger Legacy.
Okay, and just in front of him there is Super Gold. Everything's okay now that Rosalie has mounted Super Gold, having his first start. Spectre Dilemma in the green colours is about to go through, and following him will be Super Gold. As we have a look at the top 3 in the betting, it's 10 World Famous Man at $14, the favourite from 1 Yari Kozine at 17, and the third pick is number 6. That's Ken Wong at 33 and 12. There's Yari Kozine. Mark Gallagher riding the top weight is the second pick. Selections 10, 1 and 6. So they'll evade with 6 Shen Wong, giving him a good chance here. 10, 1 and 6 my top 3. Frosty?
Yeah, Max, you've gone with the race experience. Also, I thought they were the way to go as well. I'm going to go numbers 10, 1 and 5. Just putting the newcomer number 5, Fairy King Dane, in for third. Thought he might be able to get into the placings. There's By Appointment coming out onto the track. Still a big odds, $121, so no support for him tonight for By Appointment. He's in the green colours with the red blinkers on. There's one of the newcomers, Fairy King Dane, making his way in. I thought the other newcomer that went okay was number 8, Super Gold. So the 5 and the 8 of the 2 newcomers out of the other ones, I thought they were the better 2 out of Spectre Dilemma and Trigger Legacy. I thought they hadn't probably done enough of the trials to warrant thought here on debut. But there's your favourite on the screen, the World Famous Man, with Aslam bringing him out onto the track. Brian Dean trained the first winner tonight with Galactic Bound, and let's see if you can make it a race-to-race double here with the favourite number 10. He's currently 13 for the win and 6 for the place.